With the Season of Malignant coming up in a few days, I want to go over some things that I've learned playing a sorcerer on launch till endgame to help with early game leveling and making your experience as smooth as possible. If you find this guide helpful, please do drop me a subscribe. It really helps. Thanks. So for the guide rules, here are some things I'll be jumping into before the build. 1. I will assume that you're always playing solo. Only dungeon obtainable legendary aspects will be suggested. 2-1 weapon is king, because it has 2 times value of 4D legendary aspect and it has more damage. This can be done on either campaign playthrough or the skip, which means Tree of Misery. If you finish the campaign, you know what it is. No enchanting, stat reroll required. This is also because we do not have Hell type resource. This is a season starter, not Eternal Realm. I assume you do not have the Renown skill points. Now I know doing the Renown is a big headache, it's fine. Right, we're just going to quickly go over the skills. We're going to start at level 1. I assume you don't have the 8 points from your Renown. 1 spark, 1 enhanced spark. This is cleaving. Ice shots, burns boss easy, kills elites easy. Enhance, destructive ice, vulnerable, enemy takes 20% extra damage. Push this up to level 3, 1 teleport, 1 frost nova, max this out, 1 hydra. Great skill, 20 mana, 10 seconds, does damage. So you need to know. Pop this in, enhance ice nova, either shimmering for mana, which is good. Early game mana is always good. Max out glass cannon, max out precision magic. Did max out frost nova, once we're here. Permafrost, icy touch, frigid freeze. See this? Lucky hit chance. So lucky hit, cold damage against vulnerable enemies, 20% extra chance to dead, 20% chance to generate 15 mana. Level 30, right? So when you're level 15, you should be around here. Once you're level 15, you get 1 enhancement slot. Put ice shots in, then put firebolt. So once you're level 30, respec this, put it into firebolt. So your ice shots will burn, and that means we can take advantage of all these burning passives. So let's pump it in everywhere. Deep freeze, get this, really good. Reduce all your cooldowns by 50%, reduces this by 50%. When you use deep freeze, frost nova, deep freeze, frost nova again. Simple. Come back here. Fire research, killing a burning enemy, increase your mana regeneration by 30%. Yeah, sure, why not? Avalanche. This one, your frost skills have 10% chance to make the next ice shots. No mana, does extra damage, chances double against vulnerable enemies. See what it is? Lucky hit. Which is why this is a great passive. On top of that, you make enemies vulnerable here. Swap this out, you make enemies vulnerable here. Frost Nova, because of the enhancement, ice shots automatically conjure and fly towards frozen enemies, and they burn. And including with enhanced ice shots, it ricochets off frozen enemies. So what else we do? Below 41, and get this in the flame. Doesn't do anything for us, but it unlocks this. Critical damage against burning enemies at 30%. Want to align the elements? Definitely more protection. You can take out your Hydra at this point, put it in here. Easy heal. So yeah, that's about it for the skill area. For the gear side, in all honesty, go with Aspect of the Piercing Cold. Really easy to get. It's in Fractured Peaks. You can instantly run this dungeon as soon as you start. Get this aspect. It doesn't take anything other than veiled crystals to put this on. I would suggest put it on your ring. Rings are easy to go by. You don't change out your rings very often because on the left side your helm, chest, gloves, pants, boots, and weapon. You need to constantly change them. So your rings. The only thing it has is like what? Or resist. That's completely useless. It's fine. The other part which you can use, Prodigy. Using a cooldown restores mana. We're always mana hungry. More mana is good. In your jewelry, always put skulls. More armor, more survivability. weapon, you can go with Edge Master. So, and this you can go with, I believe it's called, no that's not it, there we go, Rapid Aspect. So Rapid Aspect, basic skills gain 15 to 30% extra attack speed. It's because we're using the codex, so we always roll the lowest, so 15% attack speed. 15 extra attack speed, you generate mana fast, you know, helps us shoot out more ice bolts. Oh, sorry, ice shots. Aspect of Might. Basic attack, 20% damage reduction, 2 seconds. Edge Master, skills deal up to 10 to 20% increased damage because we're using for the codex, it's 10%. So codex always rolls lowest. But I'm only giving you, I'm only suggesting these aspects is because they're easy to get, because they come from dungeons. Boots, go with bouncing. I think that's what it's called. There we go, bounding conduit, not bouncing. 30% movement speed after teleporting. You know, you want to run fast, you want to move fast, you want to clear stuff fast. Generally, you don't want to plant your feet on the ground and kill enemies. You want to funnel them and get them to follow you. It's because your ice shards pierce. So when you know they form a conga line behind you, just shoot them with these ice shards. You pierce all of them. If you're lucky, you know, you just jump in, you Frost Nova, get mana back, you kill all of them, and yeah, that's your AoE damage. So for your armor, honestly, it can be almost anything. I like to run some Topaz, it's because, you know, when you go for Vega, you get crowd control. You get crowd control, you get 10% reduction, 10% damage reduction. It's pretty good. Rubies, if you don't want to think, rubies are great. For your weapon, definitely emeralds. Vulnerable, we always put enemies in vulnerable state, so not a problem. I won't go into the Paragon, it's because this is a 1 to 50 leveling guide. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for the skills and the gear. Okay, so we're now jumping into the item stats. So I've made a list here. You can either pause the video or I'll just put a link in the description. You can access this site. So these are stats which you generally want to look out for when you're leveling. You can actually use this for endgame as well. You know, like cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction is always king. Armor, definitely. Gloves, levels of ice shard, depending on your build, you know. Go with the levels to that certain core skill that you're using. But gloves will always roll core skill. So pants will roll mastery skills, and you know, this will roll core. Amulet especially, I think this is the hardest piece to get for something which is decent. So cooldown reduction, armor, mana cost reduction, ranks defensive skills. If you can get this for stats, you know, keep it. That's something you really want. Feet, definitely movement speed. You know, more movement speed makes the gameplay a lot smoother. There is no damage versus chill. It's because ice shards don't chill. And that is a wrap. This leveling build should work with the new patch. I'll be doing some testing and will update the guide accordingly. Thanks for staying till the end, and please subscribe to the channel if you found this guide useful.